Right now at 6, over half of voters are worried about votes being counted correctly in the next election. Experts say there are processes in place to make our elections secure. And as absentee ballots roll out, election officials want to remind everyone of new rules.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 6. I'm Ken Kozarowski. Amy is on assignment. A recent Marquette law poll reveals that 56% of voters are very concerned about ensuring votes are accurately counted. News 8 Now's Emily Haugen joins us to share why voters are worried and how you can be sure the election is secure.
Ken, as we get closer to the midterm election, Wisconsinites are raising questions about election integrity. I spoke with experts today who say your elections are safe. Here's why. America is built on democracy, but in recent years, some have challenged that pillar.
We are encountering an unprecedented amount of conspiracy theories and misinformation online.
UW La Crosse political science professor Anthony Chergosky explains that in some cases, political rhetoric is to blame.
When a political leader says something like that they have doubt in the election results, then that's going to have a downstream effect on the views of the general public.
But that isn't voters' only concern. Chergosky says recent Wisconsin court rulings, like the ones that prohibit use of absentee drop boxes like this one, may be contributing to the public mistrust.
A constant stream, it seems, of court rulings can change on a dime how elections are conducted in this state.
But Chergosky says Wisconsinites don't need to worry.
Elections in Wisconsin are remarkably transparent.
People like City Clerk Nikki Elson run elections, and she sees the concerns.
We go to the Wisconsin Election Commission website and we're like, okay, what is the latest memo on this?
But she assures voters that everything is secure.
The counts are triple checked. They're checked at the municipal level, they're double checked at the county level, and then they're certified by the state.
And voting machines are sealed, tested, and sealed again.
And every part of this, too, which is important to know, is transparent and it's open for public observation.
Elson encourages asking questions.
We want our elections to be secure. We want them to be safe. We want them, that transparency is there.
And what she asks is the public pays attention. Elson says there are plenty of opportunities for the public to watch the process. She also encourages anyone with questions or confusion about the process to contact their city clerk.
All right. Thanks very much, Emily. Now, absentee ballots for the November 8th election are on their way to voters' mailboxes. City clerks want to remind voters there are rules they need to follow to make sure the vote gets counted. You can only return your ballot. You cannot return ballots for other people unless you're helping a disabled voter return their ballot.
In that case, we're probably going to ask some questions. If you walk in with 2 ballots, we're going to say, are you the voter?
Now, the same rules apply when you're returning the absentee ballot on Election Day. You cannot drop off your ballot at a drop box. Also, make sure you fill out all the information on the ballot envelope and sign the certificate. If there's missing information, the vote will not count. Governor Tony Evers wants you to be able to decide the future of abortion access in Wisconsin. This morning, Evers pushed the legislature to allow voters to make decisions on any issue via ballot referendum. Wisconsin doesn't allow that for now, but half the states in the country do. This move would take a lot of effort before it would come to fruition. Evers says it's worth it because change is necessary to take on abortion bans specifically.
If Republican legislators aren't going to uphold the will of the people, then the people of the state should have the right to take a stand at the ballot box.
If the legislature approves it, this is how it would work. Wisconsinites submit possible laws or constitutional amendments as referenda to the state's elections commission. Then with enough signatures, those proposals would be on the ballot. If the legislature decides to take up Evers' proposal, it would have to approve it twice in 2 different 2-year cycles before it would come to a vote. However, they may not approve it, as some Assembly and Senate leaders think the move is, quote, a political stunt. All right, let's switch it up, talk some weather with meteorologist Eric Dean. Eric, I hope the MAX system is working properly right now.
Yes, it
okay,
is.
Excellent.
It had a half hour to get it fixed. Take a look at the highs for today. Made it into the 70s, but do not let these numbers fool you because some of these highs were right around midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and then as that front pushed through, the temperatures fell throughout the day. Made it to 74 in La Crosse, 70 in Eau Claire, 72 in Black River Falls. Sparta, you made it to 72. Decorah made it to 79 degrees as well. And right now we're seeing temperatures in the 60s from top to bottom. 62 in Eau Claire, 61 in Marshfield, 69 in La Crosse. Decorah, good evening to you guys. You're at 64 degrees, 65 in Prairie du Chien as well as Boscobel. So if you have any plans tonight, look at that. Temperatures are going to stay in the 60s. By the time you join us at 10, we'll see temperatures in the mid to upper 50s. We'll see a light north-northwesterly wind, feeling very fall-like out there. We have a clean sweep on the radar scan across the Cooley region, maybe a little bit of precip just to the north of the viewing area. Now, Ken, coming up in the first alert forecast, we're talking temperatures staying in the 60s. And I'll give you a hint right now, this is going to stay in play for a while. We'll talk about that in a few minutes.
All right, thanks very much, Eric. Well, an exciting project to revitalize downtown La Crosse is in the works. Contractors are working to design a walkway on Pearl Street to make the community more walkable for both tourists and locals and to appreciate the city's beauty.
It's really about connecting to the entire Driftless area to showcase our community, not our region, to draw people's interest to the La Crosse area.
Now, the contractors want to hear your thoughts on the project. Tonight's public meeting started at 5:30, but there is still time to attend virtually. We have the link to the virtual part of the meeting at news8000.com. Gunderson Health System is joining the effort to feed the hungry. The health system donated $50,000 to Wafer Food Pantry to help fund the transformation of Wafer's new location. Wafer's taking over the former Gordy's Market building on the Crosse's north side, and the pantry's executive director says a donation like this will help them serve even more people.
You know, Gunderson Health System has been supportive of Wafer for so long, and so it's not really a surprise that they decided to come alongside us in this project, but we're very thrilled that they find value in the project.
Now, Wafer's new facility will include more storage for both food and vehicles, loading docks, and a drive-up canopy. Last year, Wafer served about 30,000 people. The building project is expected to be finished in the spring. Still ahead, fitness for first responders. A partnership between a health system and La Crosse Fire is helping prevent injuries on the job. And later, statewide grants for childcare aim to help parents stay in the workforce.
They're destroying America and our livelihoods. Now, DC elites are spending big on Brad Paff. The same Beltway bigwigs who wasted taxpayer money that bailed out elite golf courses and luxury hotels are now bankrolling Brad Paff's campaign because Brad Paff supported their big spending, price-hiking, reckless schemes. And that's why we can't send him to Washington. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Wisconsin is a home of workers. We know what needs to get done, and we do it. Yet, we've been hit hard, some harder than others. Our contact may be limited, but we still can lift each other up. The Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy providers are working together to help keep your heat and power on. You may not ask for it, but we want you to know we're here.
Meet Brad Paff. He never had a job outside of politics. Seriously, he hung around long enough to climb that political ladder. He'll never fix Washington. He won't even try. Me, I spent 26 years fighting for our country. I served as a Navy SEAL, and I know how to get things done. I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message. Let's try something different. Let's change the people we're sending to DC.
You know, all I wanted to do was help out a friend. You know, it was supposed to be just a couple of hours. It turned out to be multiple days. There is just so much junk. I asked him why didn't he hire some professional movers, and he said he couldn't afford it. Guess you never heard of Dan the Moving Man.
Don't traumatize your friends. Call Dan the Moving Man. We'll make your move as easy as possible. Dan the Moving Man is now serving La Crosse and surrounding areas. Schedule your move now and receive free moving boxes.
The physical demands for area firefighters on the job are extremely high. Mayo Clinic Health System is now launching a program to help La Crosse firefighters reach new levels of strength and well-being. News 8 Now's Rob Romano has the details of this new program. Good evening, Rob.
Good evening, Ken. I'm told that one of the goals of the program is not only to improve the strength of La Crosse firefighters, but also to prevent injuries on the job. In the heat of an emergency, firefighters need the strength to not only fight fires, but to carry people to safety. A new collaboration between Mayo Clinic Health System and the La Crosse Fire Department is aimed at improving each firefighter's strength and well-being. On Wednesday, 3 firefighters with the La Crosse Fire Department completed an obstacle course while wearing a heart rate monitor and other gear, so Mayo Clinic can get a better measurement of their skills.
We are just trying to help them be able to do it at the highest level while also looking at trying to reduce aches and pains and try and hopefully reduce some risk of injury along the way.
Joel Ludke is an athletic trainer and strength and conditioning coach with Mayo Clinic. He says that in addition to assessing each firefighter's strength, the health system is also going to conduct a number of fitness tests and then measure the results of those tests every 4 or 5 weeks. Erin Stotts has been with the La Crosse Fire Department for years. She says the program is a huge benefit.
Getting, specific movements to do for your body. It's going to reduce injury.
La Crosse Fire Chief Jeff Schott says physical fitness goes into every aspect of responding to an emergency.
Everything that we do as far as our job duties as firefighters and EMTs is all predicated on our fitness levels, and that goes to our preparation for execution and excellence on the fire ground. And there's nothing more important than that, and that's why we dedicate part of our duty day every day to fitness.
And Fire Chief Schott expects a sizable number of firefighters to participate in the program on a monthly or quarterly basis, but he didn't say exactly how many firefighters would be involved just yet. Ken, back to you.
All right, tactical athletic training, they called it. Thanks a lot, Rob. Schott adds that Mayo is going to use the information gathered from this program as part of a study. Holman residents have a chance to learn more about a public safety referendum on the November 8th ballot. The village is asking for a tax increase to help hire more police officers, firefighters, and EMTs. The $1,295,000 increase would increase taxes by $1.38 per $1,000 of property value, which is roughly $276 for a $200,000 home. Tomorrow's public meeting starts at 6:30 p.m. at the Holman Library. The largest annual regional job fair happens tomorrow at Onalaska's Omni Center. The Cooley Region Job Fair has more than 65 regional employers, with some doing on-site interviews and hiring. This year, there will be a job seeker resource area to help people with resumes, veteran and youth services, and career services. The fair starts at 2 in the afternoon. There is a free shuttle to take people from the Main Street Library in La Crosse to the Omni Center. Western Technical College is hosting a pop-up community resource fair at its Toma campus. The event will have clothing collected by the Suits for Success event. Pop-up will also have hygiene to-go bags, community resource referrals, healthcare help, and some raffle prizes. The event is free and open to the public. It's an exciting time for the Hmong community. Just ahead, a look at how they're celebrating the new year with cultural traditions.
And in the world of weather, much cooler today as compared to yesterday. We only made it into the 70s. How long will the cool temperatures last? I'll have that answer coming up in the First Alert forecast on the other side of the break. Stay with us.
Prices are going up on groceries, they're going up at the gas station. The only ones profiting are oil companies, big corporations, China, and Ron Johnson. Johnson makes money from investments and factories in China. No wonder Johnson's net worth has doubled since he's been in Washington. Even worse, Johnson's allowed oil and drug companies to jack up prices on us. He takes all that money from them. Ron Johnson profits, we pay the price. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
Those cool, crisp nights are on their way. Stay warm and cozy with an easy-to-use gas fire table from La Crosse Fireplace Company. Stop in now for the best selection and get 25% off all in-stock fire tables. This is our biggest fire table sale of the year, and quantities are limited. Enjoy your cool evenings outside and save 25% on fire tables at La Crosse Fireplace Company. La Crosse Fireplace Company, because your place is outside by the fire.
It isn't always about receiving money back. It's about the peace of mind and knowing you're going to be taken care of. I never have to worry about future medical cost, and that's a big relief.
I would recommend Schwebel, Getz, and Sieben to anyone who's been in this type of situation, because they're going to get you through it. They're going to make you whole.
You need an experienced attorney on your side. Schwebel, Getz, and Sieben. Call or visit schwebel.com.
You heard the Jingle Man, Wisconsin. That means it's time to get a versatile, rugged, athletic SUV that makes you feel like you just won a title. Again. Honda was just crowned KBB.com's best value brand for the 7th year in a row. So get up and go to your Wisconsin Heartland Honda dealer today. Honda gets Wisconsin. Bring it home, Songbird.
Get up and go! Thank you for watching News 8 Now, our community, your station.
The Secretary for Wisconsin's Department of Children and Families is announcing the next set of Partner Up grant winners. Secretary Emily Amundsen held a press conference today to announce the businesses and child care providers who will get state funding based on the child care needs of their communities. The organizations that are awarded grant money can use it for things like increasing staff compensation, paying expenses, and improving the quality of a child care program. Amundsen says organizations that invest in better child care efforts have a substantially positive effect on their communities.
Employers are able to offer the attractive benefits of childcare to remain competitive in a tight labor market. Parents are able to access quality care and keep more money in their pockets for other expenses.
The Partner Up program has given 88 grants to organizations all over the state, 21 of them going to programs in western Wisconsin. It's almost time for an annual celebration of culture, and Lincoln Middle students are celebrating with an all-school assembly. In preparation for Hmong New Year, students performed traditional dances and gave presentations about why the celebration is important to Hmong culture. Anyone is encouraged to come, especially if it's your first time.
We want people to come and bring their families and friends and join the festivities over there with the Hmong people.
Along with traditional clothing and dances, the celebration will also include authentic Hmong food. Hmong New Year begins Saturday at Veterans Memorial Park in West Salem. Time to switch it up and talk some weather with Eric Dean. Eric, I woke up this morning, there were yellow leaves strewn across my lawn. I was drinking my coffee. It felt like I needed to be carving a pumpkin because fall is here.
Right, and I said this earlier, we went from swimming weather to sweater weather in a span of 24 hours. Made it into the 70s today. 70 was the high in Eau Claire, 72 in Black River Falls, 72 in Sparta, 74 for Oakwood. Decorah, you made it to 79. 74 was the high in La Crosse. Here's the kicker with that. Look at the time that we hit that, 12:53 this morning, and that 74 is where we should be for this time of year anyway. 52 is where we should be on the low end. Outside right now, we're seeing temperatures in the 60s from top to bottom. Eau Claire, good evening to you guys. You're at 62, 64 in Winona, 64 in Decorah, 64 in Preston, 64 in Prairie du Chien. Boscobel, you're at 65, 63 is the current temperature in Volkfield, and we're substantially cooler as compared to 24 hours ago, between 10 to 25, 26 degrees cooler than this time yesterday. 19 degrees cooler in La Crosse, 19 degrees cooler in Sparta, as well as Black River Falls, 21 degrees cooler in Eau Claire, 22 degrees cooler in Decorah. So the first alert forecast for the evening and overnight hours, we're going to go into the mid to upper 40s. We're going to stay mostly clear, very fall-like. Winds will be out of the north at around 5 to 10 miles per hour, and that northerly wind will continue as we go into your Thursday. We're only going into the mid 60s with mostly sunny skies. As we take a look at the Dean's List for the next several hours, fall starts tomorrow. The rain chances, they're in the forecast as we go into the weekend, and below normal temperatures are in play not just for tomorrow, but for the next several days. Thursday, we go to 64. Friday, we're going to struggle to hit 60. We go back into the upper 60s for the weekend. Then we see a little dip again as we go into the first part of next week. Then we go back to the mid 60s for Wednesday. So let's go ahead and time out the temperatures over the next several hours. There's that northerly wind I was talking about. By 11 o'clock, we'll see temperatures staying in the 50s. We'll go into the 40s, maybe even upper 30s towards Black River Falls by the 5 o'clock hour of Thursday. Then by the noon hour, we're staying in the 50s with that sharp northerly wind in play. By 5 o'clock, we're going to struggle to hit 60 across portions of the Coulee region, and then we do it all over again for Friday, folks. There you go, 6 a.m. Look at Black River Falls, 36, 39 Sparta, 43 will be the temperature in Viroqua. On the radar scan, we have a clean sweep across the Coulee region, seeing a little bit of thunderstorm activity just to the east of the cities, just to the north of Eau Claire, but that's really about it. Our next chance of precip is going to come Friday. By noon, you can see it start to push its way in. There's Rochester, there's Red Wing. As we go into the 2 o'clock hour, from Ladysmith to Eau Claire to Black River Falls, down to Viroqua, over towards Prairie du Chien, seeing some heavy rain. And then it's out of here for Friday. Then another round will push its way through again early Saturday morning. And then we'll get a break as we go into Saturday night and Sunday. So here's a look at the 8-day. We have temperatures going into the upper 50s, low 60s for Friday, mid to upper 60s for Saturday as well as Sunday. Then we cool off again with temperatures staying in the low to mid 60s with sunny skies from Monday and Tuesday. Then we start to warm back up again for Wednesday and Thursday with temperatures staying in the upper 60s. And like I said, our average high for this time of year, Ken, is 74 degrees. So for the next 8 days, we have 60s, and fall starts tomorrow. I think I'll take that.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Eric. Coming up next in sports, the Brewers looking for a huge series win against the Mets in some early afternoon ball. We got a big matchup this Friday on the gridiron. See why Bangor is extra motivated for their game against Cashton. Cade's in next.
CityCam 8 is brought to you by the Board Store. Are new windows in your future? We're a Pro Via Platinum dealer with certified installers. We'll help you find the best style, color, and glass options for your budget.
I received a call that my granddaughter had been hit. She suffered a serious brain injury and nearly died. The driver who hit Samantha should have been in jail. Mandela Barnes supports no cash bail that puts criminals like Daryl Brooks back on the streets. He's more worried about criminals than victims. Mandela Barnes doesn't have the judgment to keep our communities safe.
Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Save big with 11% off everything at Menards. Give any room a fresh look with the beauty and durability of tile from Mohawk. Mohawk features more than 350 ceramic, porcelain, and mosaic glass tiles, all 11% off. Complete your tiling job with professional installation products from Tech. Our selection of mortar and grout makes working with any application type or tile size possible. Get 11% off all Tech products now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
To everyone who loves great food, let us make you a meal the Wisconsin way.
We cook each butter burger to order for you and the people you love, so it's the best part of your day.
The best.
The best.
And every creamy scoop of fresh frozen custard, pure happiness.
Pure happiness.
Pure happiness. Because where Culver's comes from.
And the heart of America's Dairyland.
Our love.
Our love for fresh food is as strong as our love for all of you.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
At a company, the culture comes from the top. Tim Michaels' company has been sued numerous times over sexual assault and harassment in the workplace. Women who worked for Michaels' company said they were groped, assaulted, and pressured to have sex with their bosses. Higher-ups at Michaels dismissed the women as liars and even fired those who spoke out. Is that what we need for Wisconsin? Tim Michaels, too radical, too divisive.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports.
We're already on week 6 of Wisconsin high school football. It's gone by so fast. The teams have just 4 games left in the regular season. We're starting to see some big-time matchups, like this Friday, 5-0 Cashton hosting 5-0 Bangor, a game that's almost certainly going to have a direct outcome on the Scenic Bluffs title. For Bangor, they've won the Scenic Bluffs Conference every year since 2014. The Cardinals also won it last year, but it was Cashton who won in the second round of the playoffs, and that's a loss that everyone on the Bangor team remembers vividly.
I mean, it drives me. I don't know about the younger guys, but I know all the seniors. It just grinds our gears and definitely motivates us way more.
A lot of us seniors and juniors and sophomores, they experienced that last year walking off the field with the loss. So it's just fire for us this year.
And they'll look to get their revenge this Friday in Cashton for our game of the week. And looking ahead to week 3 of the NFL season, the Packers are traveling down to Tampa Bay to face off against Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. A vintage Brady versus Rodgers matchup with both quarterbacks out of their prime and both without major weapons. Rogers still getting the chemistry down with the new guys, as that will continue to grow throughout the season. But Brady will be without his top wide receiver, Mike Evans, this week, as he's been suspended for 1 game for getting into a fight last week. But regardless, the Bucs have a ton of talent on both sides of the ball, and the Packers need to come ready to play.
Regardless of who's out there for them, I mean, it's a heck of a challenge. It's just defensively they're loaded, offensively they're loaded. They got, you know, Tom, and they got a lot of great athleticism on their team.
Now, also, after Aaron Jones' big performance on Sunday night, he's been named the FedEx Ground Player of the Week. This is the 5th time he's won the award, and I'm sure the Pack will look to get him going early on Sunday. And the Brewers looking for a series win over the Mets and trying to stay in the playoff race. 6th inning, and Willy Adames. He also wants to play some playoff baseball because he smashes this one for a solo home run, his 31st of the year, and the Brewers take the lead. Next inning, Mike Brasso up to the plate after they intentionally walk Adames, and Brasso makes them pay. A deep fly ball to left field. It clears the fence for a grand slam. Have a day, and that's how it would end. The Brewers get the win 6-0 and are now 2 games back of the Phillies, who are playing right now. So I'll update you on those standings later tonight. The Twins play tonight, and it's going to take a miracle for them to sneak into the playoffs, as they're 8 games back in both their division and the wild card. Now that's all I have for sports, and we'll be right back.
Connect with us on Twitter at News8News. Or you can always find us at news8000.com.
Now's the time to get a great deal on taking care of your property. You need tractors rated #1 in durability and owner experience, so you can do it all and do it right. Z-Series mowers that deliver a quality cut, and Sidekick utility vehicles where durability meets speed. Right now, bring home the Kubota BX Series for 0 down, 0% APR for 60 months, plus save up to $700.
Perkins burger, fries, and pie combos are back, starting at just $10.99. Mix and match any of our 100% Angus beef burgers, like our barbecue Tangler burger, breakfast burger, and the all-new Smokehouse Bacon Double Cheeseburger. Served with crispy fries and a slice of any of our famous Perkins pies. And don't forget to order seasonal treats from our bakery, like our fresh-baked pumpkin pies and muffins. Order online at perkinstogo.com.
Violent crime up across Wisconsin. Families nervous about their safety. Yet Mandela Barnes called for releasing half of Wisconsin's jailed inmates. That would mean releasing over 10,000 criminals right into our neighborhoods. 10,000 reasons your family would be in more danger. Barnes also supported defunding the police. 10,000 more criminals with fewer police to protect us. What could go wrong? Wisconsin Truth Bank is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Here's a look at the next 8 days. Fall starts tomorrow evening. Look at that temperature, 64 degrees by Friday. Some places won't even see 60s. We're going to barely hit 60. As we go into the weekend, mid to upper 60s with rain chances not out of the question, and the 60s continue well into next week. So overall, a chilly but not bad 8-day.
That's starting to look a lot more like football weather. That
yes,
just gets me so much more excited for high school games.
I agree. And Bangor Cashin too. What a matchup that's going to be.
It's going to be great. Fantastic. Yeah. Might be the game of the season. Who knows?
Could be. All right. Thanks for watching us tonight at 6. We hope you'll join us again tonight at 10.